If you can sit down and actually believe anything is possible, believe that God has something so big for you that's like bigger than anything you've ever even imagined, that's where you'll start to be able to explore new possibilities. Welcome to Purpose. I'm your host, Corie Clark. I'm just a normal girl who decided to go for it. I created a thriving business from the ground up without sacrificing my sanity, and I believe that you can do the same. You were created on purpose, for a purpose, and I fully believe you can turn that purpose into profit. Each week, I'm going to bring you practical advice to help you live your life and grow your business on purpose. Welcome back to another episode of Purpose. I'm your host, Corie Clark, and I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you because I would not be recording a podcast. I would not have my website or the planner or my business, any of it, if it wasn't for you. And so I just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in, for leaving reviews, for sending me DMs, letting me know what you guys love, what questions you have. And it's just really inspiring for me to see that so many of you are actually not just listening to these episodes or checking out the other things that I have to offer, but you're actually like implementing the things that I change, and you're using it to inspire you to actually start living the life that you feel like you've been called to do. So thank you so much for listening, for being a part of my audience, for being a friend. And I just always pray that I am delivering content that you would love and consume, and that would actually inspire you to take action. So anyways, on to this week's episode. So there's a few questions that I get asked all the time. And one of them is always, how did I get started? Which I have recorded a few episodes sharing my journey. But another one that I always get, and I feel like I've been getting it a lot more lately, and I don't know if it's because it's 2020, it's a new decade. I feel like people have been treating this year a little bit different than any other new year. But I'm always asked, like, how do I find my purpose, or how do I know what my purpose is? And while I don't think there is like a perfect system, like a plug and play template for finding your purpose, I do think that there are some things that you can ask yourself and some things that you can explore to really help you if you truly don't feel like you know what your purpose is. For me, and I know I shared this a couple weeks ago, I shared about what I feel my purpose is. And I am a Christian, and I 100% believe that no matter what stage of life I'm in, no matter what my business is doing, no matter how old my kids are, no matter how old I am, my greater purpose is to love God, to love Jesus, and to point people to Him. And I truly believe, for any of you that are listening that are also a Christian, I believe that's your purpose on this earth. But I also believe that God has given us a purpose, like a calling, while we are here, and while like a way to actually do that. And so for me, I feel like my underlying purpose is to help other women, to help other women discover that for themselves, to help other women pursue their dreams and their passions, things that maybe they've forgotten about once they, maybe once they got married and had kids, and they kind of forgot what they loved to do and the things that they felt called to do. And this is like by no means me trying to say like being a mom like messes with your dreams, and or being, if you're choosing to be a stay-at-home mom and that's 100% your job, like amen, like more power to you. It is the hardest job in the world, and you are raising these humans to become, leaders and world changers and whatever they want to become. So that is like a whole nother conversation. I love being a mom. I 100% is the most important job I have, like above anything else. But I do feel like God has given me this calling and this purpose inside of my heart to help other women uncover that for themselves and truly pursue it. And so, right now, what that looks like is this podcast and my book and my website and my blog and the planner and my coaching, that kind of stuff. That's how I'm fulfilling that purpose right now. And it's going to change over the years. It will always change. And so I want you to think about that whatever, you feel like might be your purpose right now in this moment, it might change, it might shift. And I don't think it's something that's so concrete for the rest of your life. Like this is all you're ever going to do the rest of your life. And so that's why I feel like for me as a Christian, like my overall purpose will always be to love God and to love others and to point them in His direction. But that being said, I did want to give you guys some ideas for those of you that are listening and you're just like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know if I have a purpose. How do I even start? So I have a few questions that you can start with asking yourself these things. And so if you're listening, you're at home and you can grab a piece of paper, do it. If not, come back and listen. I don't want you riding and driving at the same time. But the first thing that you can ask yourself is, why do you want to find your purpose? Like, what is causing you to even have this question, to have this desire? And take some time. Like, this isn't just like a 5-minute answer. Like, I really want you guys to spend some time if you truly, truly want to discover this. If you're serious about this, then you will be committed enough to take the time to journal it out. And even if you're not a journaler, quote unquote, if I don't write things down, I don't have a journal, like maybe you should get one. Like if you're serious about this, maybe you should get one because there is so much power in sitting down with a blank sheet of paper and just writing. You will write things, if you allow yourself, you will write things that you've never said to another person that you would probably never say to another person because it's literally just you and that piece of paper. And I want you to just explore the idea or the reasoning behind why this is important to you, why you feel like you need to discover it, why you feel like maybe you don't know what it is, and just let your mind go. And then after you have done that and you've gotten it all out and you really can't think of any other reason why you want to discover your purpose, why you feel like you might have a purpose that you don't know about, then I want you to start listing the things that you're passionate about. I don't care if it's something as tiny as you're passionate about paper products. I don't care if it can be as little as that or it can be as big as like solving world hunger, whatever it is, all the things, every single one of them that you're passionate about, just make a list of them. Brain dump, get it all out. All of the things that you love to do, that you're passionate about, things that you enjoy doing. I just want you to explore that because sometimes we forget. We're so caught up in living our day-to-day life, in keeping up with the Joneses and getting our jobs done, getting the kids fed and off to school and getting the house clean. We're so caught up in that like endless cycle of our to-do list that we forget there are other things that we are passionate about, and there are other things that we love to do. And then, okay, so you've got your first questions that you kind of like were exploring why you feel like you want to solve this question, why you want to find your purpose. Then you make your list about what are you passionate about and what you love to do. And then I want you to make a list of all the things that you're good at. Like, what are you good at? Whether it's, some sort of craft or hobby. Are you good at speaking? Are you good at cooking and, baking, whatever it is, it does not matter. What are you good at? And then the next thing that you are going to explore and start making a list of is the ways that you help people. Or maybe something like, is there things that people are always coming to you for help with? When they need help in a certain area of their life, why are you the person they come to for advice in that area? So, what are those kinds of things that you are good at doing? So not just the things you're good at doing, like hobbies and that kind of stuff, but then what are the things you're an expert in that people want your help? Because then when you start to combine these things, you start to look at the things you're passionate about, you start to look at the things that you love doing, and then the things that people want help with, that's where you start to find your purpose. Because, for instance, like with me, it's kind of funny because I grew up loving paper and organization and planners and all that kind of stuff. I had no clue I was going to have an actual planner company. And I had no clue it would actually be a way for me to fulfill my purpose. So that's why I want you guys to be super open-minded. When you sit down to do this, be open to possibility. Be open to the idea that maybe the little weird, quirky things about you are actually the very thing that will help you fulfill your purpose on this earth. It can sound so crazy. Seriously, I want you to think about that for a second. I grew up loving paper and organizing and that kind of stuff. And as I created my simplicity project that I took my family through because we were so overwhelmed and with our life and chaos and, our schedule was crazy and all that kind of stuff. As we went through all of that, I was able to use my struggles and then start to infuse the things I was good with into our life and then into other people's life. And now it's a tool that helps me pursue my purpose. It helps other women pursue their purpose. Okay, so it's honestly, it's simple, but it's not easy. And I feel like that's something I say a lot because I feel like it applies to every part of your life. When you sit down and think about it, it truly is simple. I think we overcomplicate things. This does not have to be complicated. I don't think you need hours of therapy or, anything like that to find your purpose. I think it's probably right in front of you. I think it's probably right inside of you. You just have forgotten those parts of yourself because maybe you're consumed with work, maybe you're consumed with being a mom, maybe, you're consumed with all these things that aren't necessarily bad things. They're good things. They're things we need to do. They're things that are required for us to maintain our lives and our homes and all of that kind of stuff. But we forget who we are. We forget the things that we're passionate about. So I just want to recap. I want you guys to, first of all, really explore why you have this question in the first place. If this is a question you have, maybe you already have, maybe you feel like you know your purpose, you're on track. That is awesome. But I do think it's something that you can even still explore, even if you feel like you are on the right track. You can ask yourself some of these questions. Why is knowing your purpose important to you? And then asking yourself and exploring the things you're passionate about and what you love to do. And then asking yourself what you're good at and the things that people ask you for help with. And if you truly are sitting here and you're saying, Corie, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm good at anymore. I don't even know what I like to do because you've truly forgotten for so long, then maybe it's as simple as just trying new things. Sign up for a dance class or sign up for an art class or volunteer somewhere. Start doing some things that are outside of your comfort zone, that are outside of your circle of normal, this is my normal everyday life. Do something new and see what happens. See how it inspires you. See how it changes the way you think. And it might open up a whole new world of passions and dreams for you and things that you didn't even realize you loved doing. And so Those are the things that I think that anybody who's has that question, what's my purpose? How do I find my purpose? That's exactly where I think you should start. Now, am I like right? Is this the only way? No, I don't know. I don't think there's any one way for any of you to find your purpose. But I think if you have that question, you are on the right path. And that is the very first step in actually questioning. And I remember doing that myself. I was actually at a women's conference in Sydney, and I was with my daughter, and it was 2013. And I really just felt that there was just something stirring inside of me. I felt like I have this purpose. I have something that I've been called to do, and I'm not doing it. And I don't know what it looks like. And the pastor actually had us take out a blank sheet of paper and just pray and ask God to just open our eyes to possibilities and new things. And I wrote and wrote and wrote. And honestly, that is kind of like one of those first steps I took. And that was the year that I bought my website and, really started like blogging and sharing some of these thoughts and ideas with other people. And that was truly like the beginning of this path I've been on for the last 7 years. And, I haven't known every step of the way. So I want you to remember that. And I said this at the beginning of the episode. I want you to remember that you don't have to know what's going to come next. When you decide maybe tomorrow morning, like, yes, I think this is my purpose. And if you start pursuing that, if it doesn't feel right and you need to change, that's okay. Because what I started as like a blog and then turned into a book and then turned into a planner and then turned into, several other products and now coaching other women and now having a live event at the end of the year. I had no idea what all this was going to look like back in 2013 when I started pursuing my purpose. So I want you to give yourself some grace. I want you to be open to the possibility that anything is possible, because that right there, if you can sit down and actually believe anything is possible, believe that God has something so big for you that's like bigger than anything you've ever even imagined, like that's where you'll start to be able to explore new possibilities and new ideas and new passions and new dreams, and actually start taking those baby steps to work it out. Because I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'll say it till the day I die. Action brings clarity. So you have to start taking action. And that first action is really just pulling out a journal, a piece of paper, going through those questions I just said. And then once you're done with that, then you have to take the next step. And that is going to look different for every single one of you. But whatever those things are that you're passionate about and good at, start doing more of them. Start sharing them with other people. Start serving other people in those unique ways that you know how to. Because every single step you take is going to lead you to something bigger and better. And if it doesn't lead you to something bigger and better, it's going to teach you a lesson and maybe shift you in the right direction. So I hope this is helpful. I truly hope this is something that you can sit down and work out yourself and start to explore the possibilities that you are here for a greater purpose. You do have everything inside of you that you need to fulfill that purpose. And I truly believe that with my heart. I believe that every single person on this planet was created on purpose and for a purpose. The thing is it's up to us to actually live that out. So will you choose to live out your purpose, or will you choose to sit in your comfy life and just let it pass you by? Because honestly, the choice is yours. There is no other person that can help you make this choice than yourself. And if you're married, awesome. Talk to your spouse about these things. It's a great conversation to have. Ryan and I are always talking about purpose and our callings and what we're doing to actually pursue them, because they're not going to pursue you. You have to pursue them. All right, you guys. I didn't want that to get all heavy or anything like that, but it is something I'm so passionate about. It is something that I love helping people with. I truly get asked that question I don't want to say daily, but almost daily. Anytime I have a Q&A, anytime I send out a survey, and anytime people build up the courage to send me a DM, this question comes up. And so I know it's on people's minds, and I want to get people past that wondering if they have a purpose into actually stepping into it. So if you enjoyed this episode, if anything resonated with you, I would love for you to screenshot it and share it on Instagram. Tag me, let me know why you loved it. And I would also appreciate if you head on over to iTunes and leave me a 5-star rating and write a quick review. It's honestly so simple. You can have it done in 2 minutes, but this is what helps other people find the show. All right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Purpose. Don't forget, tickets to Purpose Babe Live are on sale. They are super discounted right now, and our early bird sale is going to be up in just a couple weeks. So head on over to CorieClark.com/live to grab your ticket now before they are gone. Also, we are already selling out of the VIP tickets, and those are limited. We won't be adding more because we have special stuff planned for our VIPs only, which if I were you, I would snag a VIP ticket. I don't even like to go to events if I'm not VIP because I want to be with the people who are taking their lives to the next level, investing in themselves, investing in their future. So head on over to CorieClark.com/live. Get your ticket now. I cannot wait to meet you in October. And that is all for today. So I will see you guys next week right here on Purpose.